Good evening, my friends. I want to explain something that can make any content you consume about limbic system impairment recovery or any kind of trauma a lot more helpful. Anything that you might be in recovery for, of any nature that's trauma-based, which is a lot of things, is like the toddler toy where you have a little cube and you put a different shape block into each side of that cube. There are a tremendous number of nuances and approaches to recovery from limbic impairment, to recovery from trauma, that most of them have some level of validity, but they might not be a good fit for you in general or for you at this point in your journey. And I highly encourage you to only take on information that actually helps you, something that creates a light bulb or an aha moment, or is like, oh my, yeah, wow, that's so helpful, I'm going to try that. If anything I say or anyone else, on Instagram or in a book or, in a program or on YouTube or a podcast, maybe you're listening to something about recovery or someone's recovery story and you hear someone talk about, somatics or this or that other kind of modality they use, and you're like, oh, should I do that? Will I not recover unless I do that? I encourage you to stick to the basics at all times. Whatever program you're using, stick to the basic principles of neuroplasticity for the most part. And if something stresses you out or creates a lot of worry and fear and doubt and activation, it's not for you right now. It's not fitting. You're trying to stick a square into a triangular entryway. It's not going to work. And that's really good to remember, because as we move through this journey, you're going to reach points where previous approaches as you recover become relevant. Perspectives and tools that may have been triggering in the past can become helpful in later stages sometimes. So I just encourage you to only take on what is actually helpful in the moment and focus more on the basics. Do not get caught up in the approach. It is, being human is a vast and infinite thing, and there are a lot of ways to approach healing that are very valid, but they're not all going to work for everybody. So it's okay if you're, the person you are accountability buddy with or friends with on your journey of recovery has a different way of doing things than you, or however this presents. I say one thing, a different person says another thing, a different person says another thing. There's not one right way. We all have our own perspective. So just to untangle and clarify and hopefully make this process more simple for you, because it's your journey. So just do what works for you and don't worry about the rest.